up, add it up. I just ate a plate for breakfast.
Hey guys, so today I have a freshman advice video for incoming freshmen because last year I was literally you. Let's get started. So I divided this video into 4 different sections. The first one is like social aspects like partying and friends. Next is school, which is like the most important part, which is why we are here. Next one is first day of school, like anxiety and what to wear and who to talk to. And then last is just questions I found from Twitter from freshmen like you. Let's start. I'm going to start off with social aspects, and the first thing I wrote down is to not sleep around and get in fights because you will get a reputation for that and be known for that. And by that I just mean don't get into any fights because people will literally associate you with that one fight you got into for the rest of your high school experience. And also don't sleep around and become known as the school slut, which a lot of freshmen do, because you will regret it and people will know you as that. Even if you change and give your life to Christ on your sophomore year, people will still be like, oh, this slut, like blah 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 blah, like. So just avoid all of that. The next tip is to become friends with everyone and not have any enemies. And this is really important because you are going to make enemies anyways. So just do your part and avoid any confrontation, make any enemies basically. And it will help you out in high school, in life. The next tip is really important. I feel like a lot of people get caught up in this. Don't try to be popular. Just popularity is seriously not that important, and I feel like some people, they make popularity their #1 priority, and I feel like that's so dumb because it doesn't matter. Popularity will, how popular you were in freshman year, how popular you were in high school will not matter at all. The second you step out of that door, literally no one cares how many friends you had or how many parties you got invited to. It doesn't really matter. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter, and don't waste your time. There are more important things to be focused on. The next tip is also important, okay? Upperclassmen probably hate you, and I'm not trying to sound negative or mean or I don't know, like you could be a really cool person, but upperclassmen will hate you. I'm telling you right now, they will hate you. It's not personal, it's just in general, freshmen are annoying. Okay, and you do not want to be that annoying freshman talking to upperclassmen or trying to be friends with them, because they just they won't like you. Don't save yourself embarrassment, just stay away from all that. And then the last tip I have is about parties, and I have no personal experience because I was never invited to any parties, so I don't really know what to say about this. Okay, my only tip that I heard from my friends that go to parties, because I don't get invited to parties, okay, is just to stay sober, because at these high school parties people are probably drinking, and you want to drink with them, you know, be part of the experience, but I would just say always take like 1 drink or just stay sober as you can, because when you're drunk you don't know what you're doing. You lose control of your body, you lose control of your mind, and you might do something really stupid that you will regret later. So just try to stay sober and have a clear mind, and yeah. And now on to the second last section, which is about school and homework. So my first tip is to respect your teachers. I was guilty of not doing this all the time, but I regret it because like they'll just make things harder for you personally. Like you might be like, oh, I don't like the teacher, she's not a very good teacher, blah blah blah, and like disrespect them, but they are the ones grading your papers. They're the ones handing in your mark, like giving you a mark, so you have to respect them, because if you respect your teachers, they will probably like you better. I don't know how to explain it, just respect your teachers. Okay, next tip is to do all your homework. This sounds crazy. I again was guilty of not doing all my homework, but at least do all your homework for the first few weeks of school so they kind of know you for doing your homework. So like if you do your homework for the first few weeks of school and then later on like you slip up a few times and don't do your homework, they will probably be like pretty easy on you, because they're like, oh yeah, she does her homework, so like I won't like dock her any marks this time, you know what I mean? But if you never really did your homework in the first few weeks of school, they'll like think of you as someone that doesn't do your homework. So just do your homework at least for the first few weeks of school. I promise it'll help you in the long run. This is just like a personal tip that I always did, and it's just finishing your homework in class. And this is really helpful because I personally hate bringing home textbooks, and I hate doing my homework at home because I'd rather be sleeping or eating or hanging out with my imaginary friends. Like I just hate doing homework at school, at home, so I always just do my homework in school and get it over with and be able to do whatever the heck I want at home. So the first tip I wrote down is to not stress out too much about what you're going to wear to the first day of school, because you do not want to be let me tell you. Okay, you do not want to be that student that comes into the first day of school with your brand new outfit that you just spent $100,000 on. Like, you don't want to like dress up too much for the first day of school because you will look so dumb. I'm telling you, people did it in my school and we're just like, I was just looking at them like, you dumb, I don't want to talk to you. Like, you want to dress good for the first day of school, but you don't want to like dress too nice and like wear your best clothes, and you want to dress like it's another day of school but like a little bit better. I don't know, don't dress up too much for the first day of school basically. Okay, so the next thing I wrote down is it's okay if you get lost in the first few weeks of school. Your middle school is probably gonna be much smaller than your high school. For me, my middle school was 2 floors, but it was like really small, and my high school is 4 floors, 3 on like, it's like 3 main floors and then 2 separate basements. My school is massive, and I was lost for the first week of school. The first week of school was horrible for me. I didn't know where my locker was, I didn't know where any of my classes were, and I was so scared. I was just wandering around the school. It was so horrible. So it's okay if you get lost for the first week of school. It's okay if you come late to your class. They will like let you go if you're late for the first few weeks, or I mean the first few days. After weeks it's like a bit much, but just it's okay if you're late or you're lost for the first few weeks of school. I'm telling you, everyone is. Your school does this, and they have like an orientation day where you can like walk around the school. Definitely go to that. It'll save you so much stress. So just, it's okay if you get lost on the first day of school. And then the last tip, if on the first day of school you have lunch, I would advise that you familiarize yourself with someone so you don't eat lunch by yourself. This is actually really important because if you eat lunch by yourself on the first day of school, you will look like such a loser, and you don't want that, especially for the first day of school. So just if you see someone in like your homeroom or something, just like talk to them and sit with them for the first day of school. You don't even have to like them, honestly. Just find someone and sit with them for the first day. It'll save you a lot of social anxiety, let me tell you. So the last tips I'm going to give are just random frequently asked questions I see a lot of freshmen ask, and I just have them and I got them off Twitter, so let's start. So the first question is, what are your top 3 tips for incoming freshmen? So my top 3 tips are: be nice to everyone, stay away from upperclassmen, and do your homework. I guess those are like the 3 most important tips. The next question is, how much harder is high school than middle school? The only way high school is harder than middle school is that it's semesterized inside, so which means you have 2 different sets of classes like for the entire year instead of just 1 set of classes that you do the entire, like for the entire year, if you know what I mean. So like everything kind of goes a lot quicker in high school, and you kind of have to like catch up a lot faster. Like in middle school, you kind of took your time learning everything, but in high school you kind of learn like a different topic a day, so you have to like be on track. So that's the only difference. The next tip is, how is it like being the youngest at a high school? And this is something I can personally relate to because I am born on 2000, so people in my grade, they were all born in 1999 and I was born in 2000, so I was one of the youngest people in my entire grade. But for me, it didn't really affect me that much because I'm really tall. I'm 5'11", and I look like pretty much, I act really mature, and I'm like really mature, I guess. So people didn't really look at me as the youngest, but I was one of the youngest, so it didn't really make a difference. As long as you're mature and you fit in with everyone else, no one will really treat you differently for being the youngest in school. The next question is how to avoid drama. This is really important because drama is something you cannot avoid. Drama is something that you can't really avoid, you can only deal with. So my tips for how to deal with drama is just to not take anything personally, and also just to understand that everyone doesn't matter. Everyone in your high school is pretty much irrelevant, and you shouldn't care too much about what they say about you. People will start rumors, people will make things up, people will talk shit behind your back, but you just have to learn to not listen to it and not take anything personally, and just keep your eye, know where you're going, and stay, you know, just keep your eyes straight and know what you're doing there. The next question I hear a lot of people ask is, what should I bring to the first day of school? So the first day of school in most schools is just like an orientation day where they just kind of show you your classes, they show you your homeroom teacher, they show you your schedule, they show you your locker. So you don't really need to bring anything because they're probably not going to teach you anything on the first day of school. I would just bring a folder to keep all your handouts in because they would probably give you a lot of handouts. Maybe a notebook and pencil just in case one teacher decides to be really mean and teach you something in the first day of school. And your backpack, but don't bring too much in it, and like don't bring everything you just bought because you'll look weird. Okay, so the next question is how to be confident on the first day of school. And I feel like the best way to be confident is just to wear something you feel confident in. So for the first day of school, you want to pick out a really cute outfit that you know you look great in. If you are wearing that cute outfit you just got, that you know you look amazing in, you will walk into that school with all the confidence. So just the next question is how to make friends on the first day. And from personal experience, the best way to make friends on the first few days of school is just to be like, I'm so nervous, are you? And then they'll be like, yeah, I'm nervous too. And then also be like, what classes do you have? Like, that's a really, literally that's how everyone in high school becomes friends. The next question is any advice on lockers, and are the combinations hard, and any way to style your lockers from the inside. So the first thing is how to remember your locker combination, and this is one tip I always use, is just to make your locker combination your phone password. So if you do that, you'll have to remember your locker combination. And the last part is how to style your lockers from the inside. I don't know how things are in your school, but in my school, no one really like designs or dresses up their locker. If you do want to style your locker, I would just recommend putting like a mirror, maybe a little like pencil case thing, and maybe like a picture. I feel like that's the most you should do. Maybe some locker shelves. Just keep it pretty basic with your decoration. Don't put like all your One Direction posters up or your 5 Seconds of Summer. Just kind of keep it pretty low key with your locker. Those are all the questions I'm going to answer.